Hey, what's going on, guys? It's me, Jedi. Today is actually really sad because there was a person who was murdered and it was all over the news. And if you already know who I'm talking about, yes, it's George Floyd. So he's a 46-year-old Minneapolis man who was murdered by the police. So today we're going to be looking at his case, and it was really hot today as the news because it's already today's May 28th, if you didn't know that. So May 28th, 2020, and today was like all over the news. Everybody was talking all about it. And so I decided I would come on here and let you guys know my opinion and what I think of both sides, and give you guys like an unbiased opinion. So let's go. Alright, so today I'm gonna give you guys three things. Number one, I'm gonna give you guys the whole story of what exactly or allegedly happened. And number two, I'm gonna give you guys both sides of what people who support Floyd think and what people who support the police think. And number three, of course, I'm gonna give you guys my opinion, what I think of this, and how we should approach this, and what should happen. So let's go. All right, starting with number one, George Floyd. Who was he? Well, he was a 46-year-old man, pretty much lived like a normal life from Minneapolis. He used to be a truck driver, and then he does many little jobs, and he had a family, and he was pretty much like a normal man. And one day he was just going, so what he was doing is he was actually using counterfeit money. That was the alleged rumor. And we don't know if that's 100% true yet, so I don't want you guys to quote me on that. But that's pretty much where all the problem started. It was the fact that he used counterfeit money. So then what the police did was they were actually able to go and track on his car, and they were able to pull him out. And that's where all the confusion starts, where people start saying stuff like, oh, like Floyd was just like stopped and he was just taken randomly. It wasn't really random. It was because of the fact that he had issues with counterfeit money. So there were actually a lot of cops in the area, so they had to pull him out and arrest him. So it wasn't anything that they did especially just for him. It was a safety precaution that they had to take by arresting him. So basically what happened after that was they basically took him and they put him off to the side and they handcuffed him and they started questioning him. And they're talking to him, and that's when the first thing starts, which everybody's bringing up, is the fact that they think that he resisted. So the way the resisting works is, it doesn't have to be physical resist. So if he's resisting the whole idea of them arresting him with his words, or if he's doing anything, or if his body language is like showing it, and he's not letting the cops do their job, in that situation, that's resisting. So when people look at resisting, don't just think of it as him trying to push the cops off or doing anything physical. It can also be some stuff he's saying or the way that he's behaving. So although in the videos it shows that he's not physically saying anything to stop them from doing it or to stop them from arresting him, but we couldn't hear the audio in any of the videos. And if there is audio, then I would love to hear it. Send it to me. But as of now, since there's no audio, we don't know exactly what they were saying between each other, so he could have said anything. So just look at it from an open mind, and don't start playing the victim. Don't start playing the victim and bully card. So kind of think of it as an open mind. So this is basically what happened. So if this just happened, of course it would probably just been on the news for a couple of days and it'd be gone. But the reason it's a huge problem, and the reason that there's so many protests, is because of the fact that he died. And how did he die? Well, after they arrested him and brought him over, they allegedly say that he did resist in some form. So we don't know which form he resisted in, but they basically took him over to the side of the car, and then he was resisting to a point where they had to put him down and pin him. And when they pinned him, one of the officers put his knee over his throat from the back, so it wasn't from the front where it blocked the airways. That's really important. I'm gonna get to that next. But he put him from the back, and he was able to pin him down. And then people could hear Floyd saying that he couldn't breathe and he needed help, and things that normal people who can't breathe would say. And he was trying his best to stay alive, but he couldn't, and he actually got unconscious and he passed out. So basically, there is a law in Minneapolis that says that you can, or a trained officer, which the officer was, is allowed to put his knee onto a throat of a suspect who he thinks is of danger to society. He's allowed to do that as long as it does not block the airway, which is from the front. So as long as he does not lay the suspect flat and put his knee on this part of the throat, then technically he's not blocking the airways. So when he put it to the back, he wasn't blocking the airways. But Floyd still went unconscious, and many researchers and doctors say that within seconds you can go unconscious, but within minutes you'll just pass out and die. So we don't know how well trained the police officer was. So that couldn't just be the fault of that police officer. It could just be the fault of the law. So we can't really blame it at anything. And at the end of the day, it's basically those four police officers were fired, and he was given Floyd was given the justice that he deserved. And pretty much right now it's just at a peak because they think that that's just complete police brutality, and the whole Black Lives Matter movement is actually at its peak right now, and they're protesting it. And many famous celebrities like LeBron, Jay-Z, and Jamie Rock, all of them pretty much put in many posts, including one of LeBron's posts in which he showed that Colin Kaepernick, who's an NFL player who kneed to the national anthem, he kind of showed the connection between that and this. So there are actually many celebrities who are reacting to this, and it's been a huge phenomenon that's been going on. And the police officers that were involved pretty much just said that he resisted, and they had to do that to stop him from injuring them or himself or other people around them. So that's basically both sides. So Floyd's side basically shows that he was just taken and completely mistreated, and he died, or he was killed. And the police side showed that he just resisted and he did something wrong, so they had to pin him down. But then when they put his knee on his throat, they followed protocol, but then it got out of hand and it ended up killing him. So now I'm gonna give you guys like my personal opinion on all this. So before I say that, guys, we gotta be open-minded about this. So we can't just start throwing out cards and just say victim, and like we can't just say victim bullying, and we can't just like split that. We gotta think about it as from what happened in both sides. So I think personally, Floyd, even though many people say that he's completely innocent, I would like for the police to look into the whole counterfeit money thing and what went on there, and how they were able to actually find that, and if those charges are true. Because if those are true, and if the whole counterfeit situation actually happened, then yes, that did give them a right to arrest him, but that did not give them the right to kill him, and I do not support that. I don't think what they did was right, and I do think that we should get justice for George Floyd. But if he did have anything to do with counterfeit, I am willing to get in or to engage with the idea that the police had to do what they had to do to kind of restrain him and pin him down, and this could have just been an accident. Because in Minneapolis, you are allowed to put your knee on a suspect's throat, so that's not wrong. Like the way that the officer did it, where he put his knee on the suspect's throat from the back, that act is not unlawful. That was actually in the laws. But the fact that he killed him, that could have been an accident because he probably wasn't trained or well trained. So that is the officer's fault. I completely understand. But the whole idea of people saying that this was all like planned out and murdered, and that they just like found him like riding and they had to just go pull him over and took him out, they just had a personal grudge, I don't believe with that, or I don't believe that. So at the end of the day, you guys gotta just take what you gotta take in about this whole situation. But me personally, I think both sides have their arguments to defend, but I am going to lean more towards George Floyd's side, because of course he was unarmed, he didn't have anything to do, and there were 4 policemen, and they basically just took him down, and they basically did to him what you're not supposed to do to a human, because he died, and the way that they did that could have been prevented. But I'm not going to say that Floyd is completely innocent, because he did, if it's true, if the allegations are true, he did sell counterfeit money, and he did resist. So that's basically what I'm going off of. And if we get more evidence that shows that he did not resist verbally or physically, or that he did not use counterfeit money, then I will for sure say that it is the police's fault. But if we do get allegations saying that he resisted and that he did things behind the camera that we didn't see, or that he used counterfeit money to an extent where he was completely breaking all the laws to the point where he had to be pinned down, then I will side with the police. But for now, we don't have enough evidence to make any claims. So for now, we can just hope and pray for George Floyd and just be safe out there, guys. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys go follow me on Instagram and DM me about this. You agree with me? If you don't agree with me, let me know why. If you have videos, guys, I would love to see them. and your opinion really matters to me, guys. So make sure you guys go on Instagram and give me your opinion of what you think, and if you think that I'm wrong, or if you guys wanna have like a quick chat about your point of view and my point of view, we can totally do that. So guys, go to Instagram. I'm trying to promote that as much as possible because that's like the easiest way for you guys to talk to me, and I promise I will respond to you guys and we can have a really good conversation. So any one of you guys that DM me, I will definitely respond. Comment on a post that I make. So today I'm gonna be making a post about this, so go comment on that. And super important is Instagram, because that's the easiest way for you guys to reach me. And you can definitely leave a comment on YouTube, but for me to get that comment, it takes a while. But on Instagram, I'll get it within a fraction of a second. So definitely DMing me on Instagram is the best way to reach me. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow.